Look, good talking to you. What I want to do today is just enlighten clients who are looking to come on board with Unlock Your Financial Future, and for them to know basically our working relationships and the benefits of working with a team of experts, and you're the accountant that basically looks after Unlock Your Financial Future clients. So before we start, just tell me a little bit about yourself.
Jackie, as you know, I'm the director of ECLIPSE Accounting Group, firm of chartered accountants, been established now for over 25 years, team of about 10 staff. We look after a lot of property investor type clients. Well, I've got a bit of a passion for property, understand it very well. A lot of my staff are really keen on it and have a great interest in delivering service around property investors.
That's great. And how long have you been in business yourself, and what services do you provide?
We've been in business 25 years. We operate in the small to medium size and property investor market. Services we provide, starting with your property investor income tax returns, your tax variations, all that, the mechanical stuff that any property investor might need to make sure they've maximised every potential deduction and maximise their cash flow from the tax office. That's one key service. We also do a lot in the small to medium sized business area. And another area we interrelate a lot of this and do a lot of to do with properties in the self-managed fund area. We offer administration service, setup service, and we also ongoing make sure the clients who purchase properties in self-managed funds are meeting all their compliance standards and looking after their future as far as property goes.
That's great. And obviously one of the most important things with the self-managed super fund is having an external auditor come in. So yeah?
Absolutely. We have an external auditor who checks the work to make sure it's all kosher and able to be presented to the tax office, to making sure by doing that, it's totally compliant, and it also stops the tax office knocking on our door one day, because I'm not saying they won't, but it's given a greater assurity to them that it's been looked at by independent third party.
And keeping you updated as well, I suppose.
Yeah. Any changes that might happen in the SIS Act and the ATO sections of the Tax Act regarding superannuation, we have a requirement to meet certain CPs. So continuing professional education requirements around self-managed funds, and also us liaising with the auditors. We have over 120 self-managed funds. We're always having conversations with auditors as far as making sure the right things are being done, and any changes that are happening out there in the landscape of self-managed fund area, we're on top of it.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome. And what's your how long have you been working with Unlock Your Financial Future?
Probably just coming up on 8 years now. I think we started working with yourself and seeing you put a lot of clients through your system very successfully, in a very orderly fashion.
And what would you say is the experience been like working with UYFF to date?
Yeah, no, I think it's fantastic. I think where it outshines is your form of communication. You build a strong team around you of everybody who talks to each other and interrelates with each other on a timely basis, which is key to the whole process. Takes a lot of the anxiety and worry out from the clients, that all the teams on top of every transaction going through, and we follow it through to make sure that they maximise their tax from our point of view, refunds.
And how do you believe the Unlock Your Financial Future model has helped clients with their wealth creation needs?
I think probably, one, again, reintegrating a great team. I mean, I think what's probably I've seen you do is a lot of clients who probably were interested in property. You've given them a lot of motivation and support to get them going. As it's like, there are probably a lot of people I see who now are sitting back after having, especially people after 8 years, there's always this anxiety, trepidation in sort of year one or two. Have I done this? And should I have done this the right way? And should I have done it? And then the answer is yes, because doing the same thing expecting a different result is not they're actually making themselves more long-term wealth builders by the fact they're actually taking some action. And I think that's where you make sure the action's taken, you make sure every service provider follows through, and there's no stones left unturned as far as making sure that the property's purchased correctly in the correct name, the ownership's correct in the correct name, the finance is in the correct ownership, and it's with the best bank possible. I know you've got a great team that works around there. And then as far as, financial planning, the financial planners, you do everything to the letter of the law, and making sure that, there's a proper process to make sure they're compliant with ASIC as far as preparing statement of advices with the correct financial planner. And then it's just making sure that it's all locked down. And, once you get over the first property purchase, everybody starts to get in a bit of a flow. They start to feel comfortable with the process. They start to see their tax refunds. They start to see their variations happening. They start to see, generally, the clients after 5 years start to see some property growth. They all seem relatively happy clients.
Okay, that's good. And that was really, really important what you said, because signing a contract in different states have different terminology to it, expectations. Setting it up correctly is imperative, the actual process and procedure. And I'd like to believe that's definitely one of the benefits of actually working with a model like we've got. And that actually does lead me into the next question. What do you believe are the main benefits to the client, and how do they benefit with this system?
The main benefits is it's a turnkey system that they don't, besides having to have a little bit of interaction, they're not having to think, which lawyer do I go and see? Which finance broker do I go and see? Which financial planner do I see? Which accountant do I see? And do they know they don't have to go and give their set of information or their data set to a whole lot of people who don't understand exactly what's gone on. It's with permission, obviously, from the client. A lot of data is shared with client permission. And I think that's a really great advantage, that you don't have to go back and you don't have to think, who do I need to provide it? It's already there for you, and it's a turnkey system.
Yeah, I totally agree. If you were to describe to a potential Unlock Your Financial Future client, how would you describe our services?
The service is, I suppose, is streamlined. It's dot the I's, cross the T's. It's a great communication system, I suppose, is probably the one thing where you see a lot of other people, they don't communicate. They sell the property and then they forget about it. Where your system is, it's not the pre-thing where you're talking about the property. It's all the post and the post-care service, and making sure everybody's looked after from a client service point of view.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's interesting listening to how you see the model working, because I always say communication is key, and it is. And it's not just about now, it's about following through and the after effects, making sure that they're fully provided for and that we're all on board. So,
yeah.
Well, that's great. Thank you for your time today. Most importantly, where do you see business in the next few years?
I mean, I'm still relatively young. Not young, but we've got a team of 10 staff. We're going to be here for a long time. I've got young staff coming through to one day take the reins, but I'm still going to be here for. I'm a young 55. I keep telling myself, so I'm here for at least another 10 to 15 years with a great lot of youth coming through to transition the business and making sure that everybody's looked after. And yeah, I look forward to having a great relationship with all your clients, and I know my team does too.
Yeah, and just from obviously the way businesses has changed over 10 years, how are you finding becoming more online and less paper? How does that affect your business?
I think the big issue is that, I'll say COVID's probably pushed it even a little bit harder, is we're all time poor, and it's really hard to take time out to bring people into your office, or you go to their office. It doesn't suit the family at certain times. people are busy with their children, they're busy with their relatives, their mums and dads these days, they're just busy in general, and it just takes that time where they can actually lock off. And technology, it's a very, you feel connected, I think, as far as, and I think as long as, you know, you've got a great connection service and great communication post, I think it makes for a smoother transition, and it's less invasive to the client as well.
Yeah, I totally agree. And hence, like doing these webinars now, people can actually see who we are, the relationship, how it all works, and most importantly, you know, the benefits to them and how it implies to their life.
I know, I've got to make sure I have more haircuts to make myself nice.
All right, Brett, thank you for your time.
Okay.
It's lovely.
Thanks, Jackie. Bye.